All right, hello, and welcome to another Arknight Shadow stream. Uh, Here in the Monastery Dojo, it's already dark. It's becoming winter, so we're starting off in the dark these days. Um, on the docket for tonight, it's Fab's birthday. Fab's 4 years old today, and there's no game out there I'd be happier to share my birthday with than Fab. Uh, I got about 29 years on it though. Tonight's agenda, going to be jamming some Vynnset again, because it's been a little while since I've streamed Vynnset. And after a quick break in the interim, where I'm going to eat some birthday ceviche. If you don't know what ceviche is, find out, because it's amazing. The darkness is home. Yes, the darkness is home. It's October. It's going to be dark until March. Don't worry about it. It's just winter in Ohio. Uh, so, going to play some Vynnset. The list has not changed drastically since the last time. A couple new developments in the interest of adding more 3 blocks. We're on some Runic Reckonings now. This is also a good card into Icelander for the ability to negate some ice frostbite taxes and things. If you're ever going to double buff, you can bait out some frostbite action with one of your other buff spells, like Mob Skies, Shadow Puppetry, etc. They will inevitably want to put their taxes on you ahead of time, and Runic Reckoning, if you have enough rune chance, can pay through the extra tax of Channel Lake, Frigid, and Frostbites. So you can sort of get a little rebate. Spooky Runeblade time. Oh yeah. Um, we've also gotten to the point where we're just going to pretend Lexi doesn't exist anymore. I have spent a lot of time thinking about ways to make that matchup better or fix it. And the answer is you have to run hot and steamroll them, and even sometimes when you do that, it's just not quite enough. So we're going to keep a weather eye to the future meta where Lexi is a goner. Um, so basically, what that means is trimming a few pummels. We got a couple to keep people honest, but we're not going to be leaning into it quite as much. Um, and going just for more of the raw value game plan. Um, Tunic into Envelop, Deathly Whale, any of our buffs in front of our widespreads, and just try and play really efficient hands. Runic Reckoning's good because it's always going to get you 3 points of value, whether it's offensively or defensively. So just it's flexible either way. And the other bigger, arguably biggest change is no Nebula Blade right now. We're going without. Uh, Depends what the meta looks like as to whether that continues to be a reasonable decision or not. Um, if there are if there seems like there will be an abundance of pure dedicated fatigue decks, then that makes me a little more interested in bringing it back. But if we're looking to play Vynnset in a meta where the solid majority of the time it's going to be either a mid-rangey battle or just an actual race, Nebula Blade is not so much what I'm interested in doing. So we're going to stick with Flail of Agony because it's phenomenal, and that just gives us an extra slot in the board. So we get to see some of the Beseech the Demigons sticking around. Very similar role to Runic Reckoning, except with the bonus of being Shadow. Um, that's about it that's different for now. So let's just hop into some Talishar games. Arachne. Okay. Well, this is a matchup that I am pretty fine, comfortable playing. Um, we want the Revels because we want to be able to do a little bit extra clearing of our banish zone. Ah, man. Why do people dodge? Same one. Um, we're still going first. We'll present A few extra cards. Alright, well, this is a pretty gassy start. Banish, Deathly Wail. Our opponent did not bring Arcane Barrier, which is gonna be a real bad time for them. um, hmm. This is that's close to the best turn 0 we could reasonably ask for. We are not in the business of blocking Spider's Bites with this deck. Okay. Alright, so what's our turn actually look like here? So Widespread Annihilation with Revel in Runeblood is, the intentional walk to getting a full Rune Gate out there. I think we want to we'll just take this hit. Both debuffs are active. Already dead. So this is banish non-action cards. Banish the top card of the deck and a defending card. So they're going to banish a card for me, which is kind of wild because now there's a world where we could triple gate this next turn. I have zero incentive to block this already dead. If anything, it's just, yeah, hey, Putrid Stirrings, what's up? So the one unfortunate part of this hand, well, I guess I can, oh, alright. Well, both teams played hard. They might have gotten a little demoralized by hitting the Putrid Stirrings first. But this, just for science, let's see what we're about to do. So with Putrid Stirrings and Banish, start of our turn, we banish Widespread Annihilation to go up to 3 Rune Chance. We lead off with Shadow Puppetry, paying a life. Shadow Puppetry, pay a life into Deathly Wail. So it'd be 3 Rune Chance, 6 physical with Go again. So we threaten 9, potentially another banish. We break the chain, get 2 Rune Chance from Whale, get 4 more from Revel up to 6. We pay 3 to Putrid Stirrings for +5 and throw Widespread Annihilation. So that was going to be 9 into another 17. So 26 damage turn. Yeah, that's how you start off games that you're gonna win. Cool. Well, didn't actually get to see the whole thing happen, which is sad, but. Okay. Let's see if we can steal a game against She Who Must Not Be Named. Oh, come on! Why is everybody dodging Vynnset? Don't be scared. This hero's bad, right? Right? What? This dude just dodged and same person dodged and brought Kano instead. Okay, well, AB equip in the house. Let's get some blues. Let's ditch those. What? So just pass priority here. Willing to give. I mean, yes, I'll AB whatever I got AB, realistically. Clearing a Voltic Bolt. All right, let's. It's Arsenal Deathly Delight. E-pot into play. Opt bottom bottom. Pitching a Wildfire. Interesting. Okay. Full block, okay. With our opponent having nothing. It's like if I flail here, it will hit. At the very least, I'm breaking the chain. I kind of want to flail. Nah, let's be aggressive while the shields are down. This pushes 5, offsets my blood debt, and we're under no pressure. Okay, so this turn is a little unfortunate. We need to get this incantation down, but we also want to make them block. So I think we're going to go shields down here for a second. Yeah, don't love doing this, but this is threatening 9 into flail. We've got our setup. Forcing Kano into playing defense. Feels fine. We're not really going to get pressured. I don't want to banish anything extra. But yeah, see, we can. I'll pay a life to take that card all day. Not as scary here. Okay, and they're blocking still. envelop on top means that, yeah, especially now that that hit, we will definitely be able to play out this destruction next turn. Whew. Alright, what are we doing this turn? I don't know if I actually want to banish Widespread Annihilation. Because I can envelop, pitching envelop into Mauve Skies, or I can just banish envelop. I think the way this game is going, I'm okay with it. Yes, pay a life, so we're going to force through a Rune Chant. Marvrian Skies. Oh, and I wasn't... silly me. I can play it out this turn. So, what is scarier? I think it's actually destruction threatening the arsenal. But then I can follow up with Flail and guarantee play this next turn. Yeah, I think we're going to take the opportunity to make sure we don't get stuck with a Runegate 4. Yeah, and this is going to take all the cards from our opponent's hand again. Possibly pushing a point or two. Nope. All right, so nothing. But we did make a Rune Chant connect. Resolution step, flail. There's nothing to stop this flail. There we go. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is always Wildfire, Blazing an Arsenal. Pretty much a universal truth. So the awkward part here. So we can play everything. Oh no, this is okay. We can push plenty of damage, and we're just gonna hit them with a Widespread Ruin from hand. Is gonna be the move, and then that way we should still get to carry over our Rune Chant setup. Is there merit to creepers? If I lead on Whale, no, I want to make sure that I pay so that, yeah, okay. I want to make sure I'm getting all my Rune Chants from this Deathly Whale. And yeah, I'm with you, Alex. It's that's got to be a juicy arsenal. Reverberate. Pitching a red. Okay, we're going to AB1 here. Oh, never mind. Yeah, we're gonna AB1. Skip the spell void. Yeah. Cool. Nope. Keep the mouse guys there. And now, opponent has no cards in hand. Interesting. I could break the chain, get the chance. No, I need the chance. So we're just gonna banish widespread ruin or banish the mobs guys to its widespread ruin. Push our opponent down to 8, and more importantly, carry over the rune chance from Deathly Wail. Alright, this time we have... So we already have a widespread destruction. So if I banish Deathly Delight, yeah. Okay, so this hand... We're just gonna... Alright, threatening lethal here. We've got our Ebb and Fold protection. There's absolutely a world where we could just die. In fact, there's enough of a world that I probably should not have played the Putrid Stirrings out. Okay. So blocking a damage, taking a damage, staring down 9. And we get 9. Yeah, Blazing Aether. Goodbye. Okay. Pale Leaf to Envelop. Deathly Wail. Threatening to push 12 across, leaving us with setup for next turn. Okay, here we're just going to... Should be able to just go over the top of whatever they can defend in this situation. Yeah. So, Reckoning into Widespread Destruction is just straight up threatening 12. And then Pummel over the top is straight lethal, even if they give 9 to this. Good game, opponent. Yeah, took 9 turns. They're blocking a whole lot, but yeah, threatened 91, dealt 30. Got there. Cool. Well, Reckoning felt good. It was, I don't know, just a really awesome art nimblism in this deck. Pummel was pretty nice both times that we saw it. Don't know that we necessarily want a bunch more, but I think the threat of having to respect it at times has a lot of value innately. Something that they just have to be thinking about. All right. A Vynnset mirror. So with the mirror, we go to Grimoire instead, but otherwise our loadout is going to stay the same. A couple pummels are good. A couple putrid stirrings as things that we can. Um, yeah, that was a lot of blocking from Kano. Uh, I think we're okay with boarding a few extra cards in here because they're all solid. Um, I don't think we want Revels when we're going second. Interesting. Okay. So opponent kind of mirrored our loadout, except we have Tunic and they have Carapace. I think, maybe there's a world where that makes sense to do. Huh? Solid start from our opponent. It's a solid start that we are just going to mirror. uh, same turn, but slightly shittier. Yeah. The irony of not actually getting to start with tempo in this in this mirror match is kind of funny. Hell yeah. Okay, so this is a very good hand. Very good situation we find ourselves in. We just need to hope that we don't have to take extraordinary quantities of damage to get it off. We're kind of in the really awesome note about putrid stirrings here. We get to sort of decide what's best, whether we want to spend one card blocking or like 1 or 2 cards blocking, and putrid stirrings is still good either way, which is awesome. All right, so we're playing out the putrid. Our opponent paid life. Take 1. So I really want to activate Deathly Wail. Is a lot though, but this means so this is 12. If I just straight take this, I go to 23, but on my turn I can banish Widespread Ruin, go to 3 Rune Chance. I can pay a life for Putrid Stirrings on Deathly Wail, Mauvrion skies it, and still follow up with Widespread Ruin, which is good. I think we're going to do that. Paying a life here makes sure that this Deathly Wail will make our Widespread Ruin free after we break the combat chain. It's a little dangerous to be going for this play, but you have to find a way to steal back some tempo. Yeah, Tunic versus Carapace will be very interesting. I agree. Like, on paper, I would think that in this sort of matchup that Tunic would be the more favorable option, but I could be wrong. I did just take 12 damage on purpose, so if it's a short enough game, I'll look a little silly for running Tunic. So this should get... I'll be very surprised if our opponent lets this hit. Let's just put it that way. Because if they do that, that's 3 free damage and setup for next turn, because I won't have to break the chain before playing Widespread Ruin. So if our opponent has a reduced to Rune Chant, reduce in 2 cards covers this up nicely. Okay. Maybe our opponent is just chock full of defense reactions. There's one. I mean, if they have just 3 defense reactions, that's a little rough, but at least we burned through them. 2. All right. Well, if they had 2, that means they had 3. So, because there's no way they don't just put... No way. There it is. Okay. All right. We knew there had to be 3. Where's the LOL? Oh, there's no LOL. Boo. And an LOL. I'm almost wondering if I just flail here instead, take it a little slower, and look for the explosive turn next turn when they don't have 3 defense reactions. No, I'm gonna try and press. So our comeback after taking 16 was our own 18 damage turn. Widespread Ruin is such a crapshoot in this matchup too, because they could, we could banish something of theirs that they have trouble getting out immediately, or they have 4 Rune Chants right now. If we banish a, oh come on, that's devastating. Punished, fully punished. Could not have gotten more punished there for my greeds. That's okay though. We're going to reduce to Rune Chant, and wait, so they had a Deathly Will in hand, and we hit another one off the top of their deck. Low-key devastating. So we're going to block with Crown of Providence. We're going to cycle this Deathly Delight out of our arsenal. For a Deathly Delight in hand. How delightful. Okay. So if we pass, what am I doing on my turn? So we're going to reduce. I'll actually be able to play Deathly Delight this turn. But I almost don't even know if I want to. I think I might just take a full off turn, set up the pummel. Yeah, we're gonna take an off turn, which is not ideal. The Widespread Ruin was not kind to us. We are pretty nicely set up. My kingdom for a Mauvrion Skies in this hand. On the bright side, well, we'll see what happens. Ooh, okay. Our opponent banishes Requiem for the Damned and passes, which is huge. Indescribably huge. Okay, so we've got a Roomlet Incantation. We're gonna have some juice here. I think we try and press again. I feel like their arsenal is probably a D-React, which makes me care less about putting destruction out there. Is this what it feels like for it's weird. I five cards pass. Okay, so I want to lead off on a blue envelope. I don't quite have the resources to do literally everything I want to do. So if I just play Deathly Wail, I think I just play Deathly Wail. I play the yellow Deathly Wail. And then between 4 and 5, I suspect I'm going to connect on damage. And yeah, especially with Pummel. So we're going to lead on yellow Deathly Wail here, because it presents the more awkward set of breakpoints. And what we're really looking for here is, so we'll get to creepers in an envelope using another envelope. And we'll pay life there. And then holding Widespread Destruction means we can also pummel. So we have a route to force damage across and take damage ourselves. And Envelop makes another rune chant, so we should be able to follow up with a second Deathly Wail this turn. Okay, problem solved. Opponent has already taken some damage. Normally the banish zone doesn't matter for a lot of heroes, but where I decided to put my camera really, really works poorly with that. With Vynnset's very much caring about it. Alright, so Grasp comes out to block Deathly Wail. I'm guessing we see a defense reaction here. Sink below. Like, I feel like they have more reactions, and I don't actually have to. I don't have to pummel over the top of this one. I can pummel over the top of the next one. So I think I'm fine letting this chain link go. Then in the resolution step, we creepers, envelop, pay a life. And now, when we break that chain link, our other Deathly Wail is fair game to come in. And we're threatening pummel over the top again. Vile Inquisition. Interesting. It's a blue block 3 that you can banish and get a point off of. And I guess you can Requiem for the Damned to play it with Go again if you felt like it. This turn is nasty. Double Deathly Wail. We get to Creepers. And we're just going to threaten pummel over the top. I feel like there's another D-React probably, but we're just going to make our opponent have it here. These cards aren't doing anything for us in hand at the moment. Like, if their hand is literally a pair of D-Reacts, we're going to end our turn with a bunch of setup. We've gotten tempo back. They're taking Blood Debt. This Requiem of the Damned isn't doing anything right now. Most importantly, if they react from hand here, but can't fully cover 11, they'll lose the other card. They won't be able to banish at the start of their turn, and the red Deathly Wail that's in their banish zone will not be playable because they're currently at 2 rune chance. This is a moot point if they have a reduced rune chant, though, which is very possible because we've seen our opponent on reds and yellows. There, sink below from Arsenal. Okay. We get our whale chance back. Creepers stick around. Our opponent discarded a Requiem for the Damned from the hit. Nelly. Okay, so we have an interesting opportunity here. We can completely cover up our opponent's setup, or our opponent's runechant production, but I don't actually think it's worth it. Because we're going to go to 4 next turn, and we can present 4 and 4 with Go Again, and then also like follow up with a Widespread Ruin. Let's see. Or I could just ruin, take 3. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to block a little bit. They're going to get one rune chant from their Deathly Wail. Well, actually, so this is coming in for 6. It is pretty likely. So we're going to be at 4 rune chants on our turn. I could give this Creeper's Grasp Deathly Wail. And I think I will. Yeah, especially with our opponent having two blood that they're carrying right now. Fully stopping all of their offense, getting them back to full 0 rune chance is pretty good. Okay. I don't hate the idea of making both of us banish. But with Carapace on 1, like they still have equipment blocks to stop Flail. So I'm debating if this Mauve Skies would be better off just being saved for the next turn cycle. And with the setup we've got going, I think I'm going to try it. So we'll throw out 10. And it's a 10 they're not going to have a good time blocking because it's 4 and 6. The threat of sticking them with a 3rd Blood Debt card here is big. We won't be. I guess we are denying ourselves the opportunity to banish anything for ourselves. So I guess they can. Oh, they took 1. Okay, so we are going to banish another card for them. Getting a Carapace block on a random 1 point of damage. But they're okay. So they're blocking all but 1 point of damage, which is kind of best case scenario for us, given the way we. Okay, so they're not crowning anything away. Break the chain. Another Widespread Ruin for our opponent. Requiem for the Damned. That makes sense. Eloquence token acquired. Vile Inquisition is the banish for the turn. 1 rune chant for our opponent. which means neither Widespread Ruin is live to be played. If our opponent kept a blue, yeah, so probably target us with this, I assume. Yeah, target hero. Oh no, so they could target themselves. But we lose a Runic Reckoning, which is fine. And they pass. Okay, so they didn't have another blue. So they're just going to take a couple blood debt. We are in a very good position in this game. Deathly Wails to banish. Incantation takes us up. Okay. At this point, we want to kind of use the slow decay of time to beat up our opponent. So yeah, so we've burned through most of their equipment blocks. So now we want to keep the pressure on. So we will envelop. We will pay a life, which I don't love doing, but we just should. And then Mob Skies, and so sitting on the incantation here means we are strongly representing a pummel with this hand. And even if our opponent chooses or decides that they can't afford to play around it, should be something that goes through their mind. And so, regardless of how our opponent chooses to defend, we will pay a life and flail after this to threaten another point and more setup without compromising our Deathly Wail rune chance. Then we'll break the chain. Or, actually, no, we can't do that. That doesn't work the way that I would have needed it to. Alright, so they're taking rune chance. They got 6 coming in. They pretty much have to cover this. Shadowverser. This is a card that has been on my radar lately. It's effectively the only Rune Gate 0 card, as it has no cost and can just be played from banish. No reactions, friend. Resolution step. So break the chain. Get 2 rune chance. Do I... So I'm definitely playing out this incantation. But the real question is, do I throw 3 more from this position? I think with the setup and with Tunic up and a life lead, and my opponent riding a couple points of blood debt, and their last equipment being creepers, I think I do want to push. If we didn't have this Runeblood incantation, I would not consider this line of play. But because this gives us dead draws in the deck, then, right? Like reduced to rune chant is obviously terrible when you don't have rune chants, but we have Tunic up that sort of mitigates that risk. Yeah, so pushing 2 more damage, getting the creepers, our opponent finally is completely out of armor, is huge for us. Hmm. Okay, so we have hit the snag. Um, there's no world where I'm blocking this arcane because I actually really would love to hit a playable card off of this widespread rune. 11. I think we're still in okay shape in the blood debt race. They're going to take another one this turn. If I take an off turn, play out another incantation, and that's my whole turn cycle, then I can put everything else onto defense. Take 6, go to 4. Oh, come on. Opponent, teach me your luck. Teach me your lucky ways. Banish Shadow Puppetry. Get some Rune Chants. Tunic, Incantation. I think we are in trouble. We had almost clawed back. Oh, that's huge. Okay. Funeral Moon is the banish. Pitching to grasp. They've got a widespread ruin. Uh, okay, so we're going to have to banish start of our turn. They have no creepers. We can, I think we just be willing to give this our entire hand. Pass. Reduce to Rune Chant. This is worth 1 Rune Chant now or later. So they pushed nothing. And they take a blood debt from Funeral Moon. Casual 12 incoming. This has been a really sweet game. We had an early deficit. Our opponent had an early explosive turn, and then they had 3 defense reactions to mitigate our comeback. Widespread Ruin hit a red Deathly Wail for them and nothing for us, and another Widespread Ruin gave us a Rune Gate 4. But we've been able to navigate through it. Honestly, there was one dud turn from our opponent that was a big part of why things have reached this point. That's not a good sign for our opponent, though. AB3 with 2 cards. We might just, well, if they can clear everything and not die, at the very least next turn they can just Funeral Moon and not be dead. They're at 1, pitching a red Phantom Wraith. Whew. Yeah, one card 12, real nice. We got to use a full or 3 cards on defense, but even had a red pummel covered up. I got nothing. Show me 2 defense reactions. And then we'll see if I can draw a shadow non-attack action. Okay. Okay, Funeral Moon comes out now, which makes sense. This leaves them the option on their turn to flail and send 2 points across. But this game should just be over. We have an Envelop, which can make a Rune Chain unblockable. Good game, opponent. Damn, what a slog. That game was crazy. Yes, there's a dog with me. His name is Pickle, and he's got claws that have been kind of long his whole life. And so when he walks on the hallway tile, you get the little tack, 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 tack. Yeah, that game was really cool. I mean, honestly, so Carapace wasn't too crazy, but Tunic was put an incantation into play one time. Yeah, I liked Tunic there for sure. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that, Florian. That's having a pet that is in pain is unbearable at times. I hope that your 4-legged family member is back to normal soon. All right, let's do. Gotta cut in his paw from. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's really rough because how are you gonna tell a dog to try and hey, just don't use your paws? Like, no, it's clearly not gonna fly. They're going first. I think we just go default loadout. Iris of Reality. I'm already. It's fine. It's not your build, Alex. But we get to do some cool stuff tonight. Very glad that I brought in all of the Mauvrian guys. Yeah, I hope the appointment goes well. Hopefully it's not too bad, but I'm sure she will not enjoy This is interesting. I think I want to block and reduce here instead of popping. Or, let's see, if I just pop, I get one fresh card. I can throw a regular hand. I think yeah, let's just pop this. Maybe they might not have, they might be light on figments in their build. I will be in Barcelona. I am pretty stoked, honestly. It'll be a blast. Yeah, them not having footsteps is an interesting choice. I almost feel like I want to save the Mom Skies until there is actually an aura to clear. Yeah, for sure. Florian, that'd be awesome. Um, okay, so if I Mom Skies, it just forces them to block and lets me flail. Them not having footsteps is huge for flail being really good, but I think I'd rather just sort of make the value play and keep the Mom Skies until flail's clearing something more important. Yeah, the real question, Florian, is am I going to play Vynnset at Worlds? And the answer right now is I don't know. uh, yeah, if I don't day two, uh, if I don't day two Worlds, I will probably play Vynnset in the calling. Um, it's possible between now and then that something else kind of pops up that captures my interest more. But I definitely. Whew, all right. Thank God for this widespread ruin. Would have been in trouble. Uh, am I drunk? Okay. Uh, Alex, I feel like I'm insane. Oh, never mind. No, card's been put into Soul. That is why. I was like, how did they pitch a yellow for this? That's incredible. Um, so our turn is just going to be Mob Skies into Widespread Ruin, using a blue to make the second chant. We'll just take this 4. Yeah, it took me a second to realize that it was Vestige at play. Hmm. I suppose there's worse cards to be stuck with. Mob Skies. Coming at you, my friend. Um, yeah, so I'm. Vynnset is definitely on the table. I'm working with my teammates, and we're kind of trying to get an idea of what things will look like without any Lexi around. Obviously, that's a popular thing to be doing at the moment. But there's a few things on my radar that I'm interested in. Uh, I could tell you that I won't be playing Dromai at Worlds. That much is certain. um, all right, so now we have to pop Genesis. No way around it. Question is, do I want to banish? And I think why not? Um, I'll have a blue to make a second chant, and we'll be on Tunic on 3. So yeah, I think at this stage of the game, I'm good with banishing. Lexi should be gone for Worlds. So they timed the next ban announcement specifically right after the conclusion of uh, right sorry right after ProQuests are done, they will release a new announcement that they have said the intent is specifically to give Lexi a chance to LL and be gone. All right, widespread ruin, get over there. But so she was like 70 points away from hitting LL, and then won 5 out of 5 events this past weekend, including 2 Battle Hardens, and we haven't even started ProQuest yet. So it's a virtual certainty that she will be gone. So myself and some others are operating under that assumption. All right, we're gonna eat our vegetables. Pay life. Oh, interesting. So if I Deathly Whale, Break the Chain, Creepers in Amov Skies, but I think I want to keep Creepers for later. Them not doing anything in front of this Envelop in Darkness makes me think I'm not getting ALS. But yeah, it isn't technically a guarantee, but the way everything has been trending, like it's more like I feel like it's more likely she'll hit 1,200 LL points than not hit 1,000 somehow. Ooh, we got to hit. I'm so torn. But we will. No, if they're not blocking. No, if they're not blocking, we're gonna go face. I'm not that scared of haze bending, and they're very low. Yeah, and saving creepers is important because any non-attack action. Oh man, did they just hit a handful of 2 blocks and no blocks? They must have. Oh, and we hit a whale. Oh man, just got it all this game. Oh, they had cards that could block. Tome. All right, respect it. Tunic can play Incantation this turn, which is nice. Parable of Humility. This was a bold keep from our opponent, I would say. Took a lot of damage to do this. I think I'm just taking 4. I think New Horizon is still a perfectly reasonably playable card in general. Alright, so force, they have nothing else. I want to attack them. So I'll have 3, so I can throw Deathly Wail at their face. Now I can't pay life this turn. That's rough. Yeah, I think it's such a unique effect. 2 displays from bright lights. Which Marvel? Did you pull Teklo Bossin? Man, our opponent took a lot of damage to gain 5, send 8. Uh, I guess I could flash in Incantation using Tunic Resource and one of these, and then Flail. So let's put Widespread Room out there. Sorry. Thank you, opponent. I need to have a plan before I start doing things. Both of these are smaller right now, and I want to kill a couple auras, but I at least want to kill Parable. But if I'm going to get Incantation into play, Arsenal, Mauve Skies. So I think if I throw the bigger damage number, which is Widespread Ruin, that's sending 8, which they have to respect. And then Tunic Resource and Phantom Wraith flashes in Incantation. And I can Flail the Parable, Arsenal, Mauve Skies, and carry over a Deathly Wail with an Incantation running. I think I'm going to do all of that, except I'm going to throw the Whale out. Singularity, nice. That's awesome. That card's really, really sweet looking. I actually didn't end up getting sealed product of this set. Partially, mech's not my main thing, and then partially because yeah, I got a lot of Dusk Till Dawn. I didn't get any Bright Lights because Shadow Rune Blade and all that. Our opponent is again just taking damage. Yeah, and I agree with Alex too. I think that there's some cool. There's some cool stuff that can be done. Let's get this Parable of Humility out of here. Some really powerful stuff that first comes New Oldham next year. Hopefully not. I think before we see New Oldham and everything. Ooh, another Genesis. Sure. Oh, this hand is so good. Genesis for 4. can't just... Oh, you could... Alright. Opponent was done with this game. They might have just seen the writing on the wall. Because we were going to... well, we could blast through any prevention next turn. And cover that up. Cleanly come in with a widespread annihilation with go again. And then clean up Genesis. No problemo. Not bad. Yeah, Teklevasen, there's a lot of potential, I think. But it's a tough. It's more inconsistency than mech players are used to, I feel like. Hey, speak of the devil, we've got some mech. They are going first, which sucks for me. My gut says that this is hybrid dash, erring on the fatiguier side. So we'll go main loadout and run some extra cards. Yeah, Alex, I'm with you. I might. I don't know what other fun thing I would do once I win one. Okay, so they are AB1. They'll be running a boost. So the question is, do I bother trying to play any offense? Um, all right. So banish Phantom Wraith. Think we just try and tax what they got going on as much as possible. No use paying a life. My wife is tragically down for the count with an illness tonight. So, taking a COVID test, seeing if it's that. Fingers crossed. Cool. Getting all this equipment and a card out of hand. I love it. And a red zipper hit instead of the blue. Huh. Gasoline. And they cycle the arsenal out. If they want to give me the other point of foundry already, I'm fine with it. Cool. We just shoot up nearly all the equipment on the first onslaught. Oh, citrus green tea by Lipton. I can see why. I can see the resemblance to a giant bottle of olive oil, though. What is happening? So many combustible couriers. Okay, blue coming in for 4. Our hand is not great. but it can play out some stuff. I'm also not opposed to an off turn when we want to just. They've got this Teklo Pounder's got limited shelf life. So we're just gonna block out the easiest 7-point attacks we've ever seen to block out. T-Bone. Touche, salesman. Yeah, I guess that was a bit careless, but it's fine. Don't throw good money after bad. Any 2-card combination, any card can play this turn out. So, is there a reason? There's not really a reason to sink. If anything, I'll get a card that I'm sad to bottom, so we'll just pass. And so the red combustible courier that I think we saw is going to be saved for next turn. I will take my 2. Oof. Well, I guess this is as good as any blue in this scenario. This is a terrible hand, though. Ray Adams fixed my thinking about about combustible courier a long time ago. It is just the easiest 7 damage to block you've ever seen. So they've boosted twice. I gotta put 2 equipment in front of this. Sure thing. Not a great turn here, but we've been doing a good job mitigating their early pounder turns, which is big. They're not going to have a 5-card hand for this last pounder turn, so it's just not all that scary. Oof. Well, this is scary. 6, go again. So I would want to Arsenal, Envelop, or Shadow Puppetry. Ugh. I think I take 6 and see where the turn takes me. Okay. Spark of Genius. Sure. Ugh. I'm now sad. God, do I Tunic Scepter? They probably just take that unless their hand is garbage. If this takes a card out of their hand, it will have been worth it. Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay. Coming in hot with the blue. So notably, we need cards. Banish a max velocity. Still floating one. Load the pistol. Twin Drive. Okay, so our turn's going to be Shadow Puppetry, Envelop, Deathly Wail with Go again into Scepter of Pain. Shadow Puppetry is reasonably threatening here, because 2-cost gates are all live off of the Deathly Wail chance. Three-card block. Okay. I love that a lot. So, close the chain. Scepter of Pain. You want to give me another card? Nope. Rune Chant for me. Core, load pistol, fire pistol, arsenal pass. I think I give this one Annihilation, and then I throw another Annihilation at their head. An Arsenal, a Deathly Wail, I guess, because there's nothing better to do with it. Our opponent is on, not to say borrowed time, but they do have 26 cards left in deck. We ate the max velocity. That's 2 of them down. High octane. So the problem is our hand has no setup whatsoever, which is not great. Four. Oh, I broke the chain. I mean, I'm blocking this anyways. They're going to pistol once. Oh, they're not boosting it. Okay. So there's just this into pistol. So if we banish whale, play whale, block here. One and four is a super annoying number to cover. Tunic looking real good here, as long as it doesn't get T-boned. Though I think we've seen they've played a Magnetic and they've pitched at least another Magnetic. They took the Rune Chant. Okay. We get a Rune Chant. What we don't get, unfortunately for us, is a shadow card or a way to guarantee close the game out. Alright, 0 to 60, 4 coming in. The bummer is, if they can take all the cards from us, we're taking one from Deathly Whale regardless. I can't make... Well, so I could make a second for 3, so a third costs 4. So if somehow I can end with Mob Skies, I can make a fourth and throw a Deathly Whale out. Okay, so let's block 3 on this 4, see where the night takes us. Load the pistol. Throttle. I think we're dead, boys and girls. If I give 5 here and take 1, go to 2. Yep, they'll do it. Good game, opponent. It's crazy. My early overzealous block with grasp that got crown eaten and then exposed creepers on a subsequent turn. Uh, that had a lasting impact, unfortunately. But we were almost there. Literally, you know, one small break away from taking that game. But not being able to pressure a scarier amount of damage on that one turn. Only threatening 5. They were able to use armor, go to 1, and then come back with 5 cards. Weaken again. Our battle will be legendary. You're going first, but I wanted to go first. Yeah, all the maximum velocities you saw were banished to other things. Or I think one of them I ate with a annihilation. Won't argue with this. The rare opportunity to actually start with tempo in this matchup. So playing out the yellow. Um, block 5 on 5. Prevent the setup. We come back with the casual 9. Reasonable. taking it since there's no hit effect of any kind going on. Alright, so banish, envelop. Did not pay life. Deathly Whale still chilling. My turn. You just bank a Putrid Stirrings and then have a classic Runeblade turn. Seven. Touche. So I can still... No, I can't do classic Runeblade turn. So I can either just throw Vanilla 6 and bank a Putrid Stirrings, or just have a full off turn. Ugh, brutal. Yeah, we're gonna take a setup window. We've got a life lead. We're primed for a huge freaking turn. Okay, we like this. We're gonna Crown of Providence to turn Phantom Wraith into a card in hand. Obviously, we're banishing Deathly Whale. Reduced to Rune Chant will take some of the sting out of whatever our opponent's doing. Oh, we whiffed. Envelop. Damage is unpreventable. Then I will take it. So this is just a healthy 8. I block here. Pass into reactions. See what I turn Phantom Wraith into. This takes me up to 3. I think I need to clear a Putrid Stirrings out. So this pays for a Putrid. This will be free. Tunic can pay for Incantation. We Arsenal and Envelop. So let's reduce. Get our value. 11 coming in. They've got whatever setup they're looking for. Okay. Some value blocking of their own. Okay, Mavs guys, widespread, and threatening pummel. There's no follow-up to this widespread ruin though. So we have yeah, we're robust to a pummel. Well, a pummel actually that's just a bit too much damage is the problem. So if we ditch the pummel, this is a weird spot. I could just like block 2. Ugh. So if it is a red pummel, I take 10, go to 6. He gets 3 rune chance, which he can push with flail. But I can block it out. Cool. Alright, discarding an incantation. I lose a Runic Reckoning. And I suspect, yeah, that makes sense. Can't risk losing out on that setup. Deathly Wail. Oh, all the pummels in one spot. We're going to do it. We're going to pummel over top of the pummel blocks. We're set up. No pressure. Oh, right. Yeah, this makes sense. Pushing flail threatens lethal, which is almost incredibly problematic. I think we just use the pummel here to put this game out of reach. Yeah, 2 in a row. That was that was brutal. Um, all right, I kind of forgot that this putrid stirrings was just hanging out. I need to not die to that at some point. Up to 7, up to 8. Oh, this is weird. I almost don't want a widespread rune. They have 4 rune chance. If I if I give a card, if I give them another gate, that like any gate they hit, they can cast. Oh no. Oh, they'd already. Never mind. They had already taken it. So it would have been playing pummel to push a point of damage. Rip. So damn. I have to block this out. I'm not going to do anything on my turn. So I can block. Oh man, this is so brutal. Well, no, I just give creepers. Oh, right. I once again forgot about this putrid stirrings. uh, yeah, we're probably just dead then. We had to give just too much. So yeah, as long as Florian can cover 11 damage. I think we're done here, folks. Man, just couldn't get that Putrid Strings out of there. That's a situation where the Talishar UI kind of hurts, because if you can't play it, it gets completely covered up, and it's very easy to forget about it. Exactly like I did. Yeah, no problem. Uh, I couldn't get that stupid blue blue putrid out of my banish zone. I kept forgetting about it, and so I didn't factor it into my math, and then it stayed there for probably 7 turns. Yeah, and that my other Vynnset game felt really similar, where it was like widespread ruin, give me nothing, give them a red Deathly Whale, and then later they give me a Runegate 4. But hell of a game, well played. It was an absolute battle. All right, so I am going to take a quick break, and I think I'm going to come back and play some Maxx instead. We're gonna do something a little different for the second half. Um, Maxx is something that I've been playing around with for a little while. Not overly in love with where my list is at for it. It's definitely an amalgam of a few lists I've seen, and tried a lot of directions that I didn't love. But I'm gonna take a quick break, and then I will be back, and we will play some Maxx the Hype Nitro. All right, and we're back. Round two, new hero, Maxx the Hype Nitro. Uh, all about cranking and banking. Um, so, pay two, create a hyperdrive with two steam counters, activate only if you've boosted this turn. So, we want to be boosting consistently. We want to be using this ability consistently because banking two resources across turns is pretty powerful. And there's a pile of synergies in our deck that care if we have hyperdriver tokens in play. And so we're going to try and, uh, keep two in play most of the time is the ideal state. Banksy, only activatable if we have cranked this turn. So if we have two spare resources, we will just create a hyperdriver with two steam counters and not crank. If we have three resources, we will create a steam counter, crank it, and swing Banksy for three. It's only three, which is a little below rate damage wise, but it's I don't know the steam counter is a real factor, and opponents are gonna be inclined to block it. I've tried a few versions of Maxx Nitro, and the conclusion that I kept running into with a lot of them is that there's a lot of things that Maxx can do that is just a worse version of something some of the other mechs can do. So I obviously there is Nitromechanoid with hyperdrivers. That's the big flashy cool thing to do, and that is a board plan that we have. We're not incredibly hyperdriver centric, but this list is definitely the most hyperdriver focused that I have tried out. Basically, we have two modes. We've got the full aggressive suite of equipment here. A mostly core 53 moonshots tentative. I'm just looking at this as probably just a value payoff card. But we've got plenty of blues because we want to be cranking and banking plenty. And the blues we have are chunky, right? If we're actually playing some of these blues out, we've got Blue Throttle, Blue Rev Up, which is basically Blue Throttle. Steel Street Hoons is a subtly very good blue card for this deck. It can be a 3 for 5 with Go Again or a block 4 in a pinch. Zipper Hit and 0 to 60 are just great value per cost. And you'll probably notice that there's no maximum velocity in here. That's because it is hard to get it off. The amount of times in games, so there's a few ways you can try and build this. And I've tried several of them and came back around to hyperdriver synergy focused because that's, for obvious reasons, the thing that Maxx is most inclined to do well. Item shenanigans, if you're doing stuff with items, you probably just want to be playing one of the dash heroes. OG Dash is very powerful, got some upgrades in this set, and can do gross things with, say, starting with a plasma, not a plasma purifier, with a plasma mainline in play, and can give extra steam counters to some of these crank items and keep them around for extra turn cycles, which is very powerful. Similarly, a lot of the crank items are good, and they're very good in limited, and they're very good for Maxx and limited, but they fall apart a little bit in constructed, I feel. The rate isn't quite there, and for constructed, Banksy's very easy to block out and keep some of the more important items not around as much. Hyperdrivers being a little low key, just representing a resource, helps our chances of Banksy hitting. But if there was like a big marquee item, then Banksy would just be an auto block, for something like penetration script or overload script. So I tried being the item deck, I tried being the crank deck, and neither of those felt great. Like, they could do some powerful things sometimes, but I think it was just dipping too much into other card pools and other heroes' forte. So I sort of have come all the way back around, and we are going to just try and be the best hyperdriver oriented Maxx deck that we can be. Being able to have redundancy in some of the best boost slots is really powerful. Red and blue throttle are phenomenal, and I believe, count as above rate. So being able to play 2 full sets is very, very powerful. Recharge helps keep our hyperdrivers in play. And then just as a fine role player, pushing damage without spending cards from deck is nice. Red Jumpstart is just, 3 more copies of Red Zipper Hit for us, which is, if we could play, 12 Zipper Hits, we absolutely would. In lieu of Maximum Velocity, we've got Big Shot, which is just a 3 for 8. Kind of unassuming, but we're going to try it out. I think that, the biggest virtue of this is only takes boosting 2 times, and so it's just easier to, pull off its criteria. I've had Maximum Velocity get stuck a lot with Max, and I don't think it's good enough on its own to justify building the Cheerios boost versions of Dash, to just to facilitate that card. So we're going to try and play into the strengths, play into the card pool redundancies that we have access to. Crankshaft and Bertha are both just blue block 3s that when we banish them, we get extra value from it. I'd say the worst. All right, so we're at 24 blues right now, which is obviously a lot, but I want to be able to pay this stuff. I want to be able to crank and bank consistently. I don't want to have to lean terribly on Tekla Foundry Heart. And the blues that we're playing are reasonably powerful. The first blues that would change if I need to cut down or find some more juice for those slots are probably Crankshaft, Recharge, or 0 to 60. 0 to 60 as a 0 is just such a nice curve filler, for enabling big shots or just being that lead-off 0 to proc your hyperdrivers. So I'd probably would lean towards replacing Crankshaft first. Sideboard plan, hyperdrivers, high octane, construct nitromechanoid is basically one whole package. That's trying to do the combo thing, assemble nitromech, and then ride this mech all the way through to the end game. We've got our spare equipment to make sure that we can do it. And then the aggressive package is Pulse Wave Harpoons, and then depending on if equipment's a factor or if we think we need more blues or something, either some hyperdrivers, some high octanes, or sorry, not high octanes, some hyperdrivers or some magnetic shockwaves, depending on what we're trying to do. Hyperdriver, not the highest impact, but honestly, just putting into play a 1-cost energy potion is pretty good. So we'll take this for a spin and see what we can do with Maxx. I do not have my an insane number of reps on this hero, so bear with me if it's a little tough sledding at first. Jesus, Bravo first. Not what I love to see, but it is a matchup you got to be ready for. All right. So in this situation, we're just trying to pressure well and construct nitromech kind of whenever we can. We're going first to try and exactly this. Yeah, so this hand, start off with a boost. Our opponent ran exactly 60. We're running 66 or 67. Blocking with a Showtime. And we will yes, crank. Another hyperdriver. no crank, Arsenal blue recharge. Why should today be any different? Crippling crush for 11. Okay, so... But it's not dominated, so we can block. We've got a recharge that we want to use. So we'll go recharge into jumpstart. Yeah. Block 8. Hyperdrive is for days. Okay, with our opponent not blocking, that increases my desire to crank this hyperdriver and swing Banksy rather than just keep one on 2 count. Cool, eat a Spinal Crush. Sounds good. Command and Conquer, this is a vanilla 6 damage. Our turn, we're going to boost Steel Street Hoons. For 5. Get 2 resources. It's 4 on offense, but it's more cards from deck. Man, none of these cards make for great arsenals, so... what are my Goliath Gauntlet targets? Hoons. Hoons, Twin Drive, Rev Up, Jumpstart, and Big Shot. Big Bertha. Seven. 3 resources. Gotta crank it bank. Oh shit. Did not mean to pass through my turn. Okay, here's the question. Oh, I'm a total nincompoop. I didn't change my equipment out. These Nitro Mechanoids don't do anything. Whoops. Well, that sure is going to make this matchup tougher. I will say that. Swing and a miss. Uh, that's fine. Block with him. It's tragic because we could do the thing now. We could have done it. This hand kind of sucks. See if we can win a game on hard mode. Casual 9. We're setting up for a dope ass moonshot, except that all their equipment's still up. Oh, I'm such a scrub. I can't believe I did that. I need to make a sideboard plan so I can't make that mistake. So it just picks the two modes for me. Okay. Banksy value. Give me that equipment. Smashing good time. You got it, pal. 13. Oh man, I was predicting the moonshot this time. But at least that didn't happen. I don't really give a shit about buckling blow. I give a little bit of a shit about a pummel. It's alright. They'll put a minus counter on Crown of Providence. We will lose this hyperdriver. Big Bertha. I just throw out another 4 and then plan on crowning away Big Bertha. Fun experiment to see if I could possibly win this game, given my initial faux pas. Lose and can't gain, go again. Okay, so I think I can crank this hyperdriver through Spinal Crush, which is kind of dope. So we're gonna sit on the Crown of Providence. Because this is lose and can't gain, go again. But Crank doesn't say go again. Crank says gain an action point. You know, for running Construct Nitromechanoid with Crown of Providence and Goliath Gauntlet, we are making a game of this. Well, here it is again. Smatching good time. Command and Conquer for 9. I want this to be a different card now. They're just going to eat a hyperdriver. And that's it. They're going to eat the big hyperdriver. A block and another equipment block. Alright. About to be torn asunder. So I'm losing 2 cards. I think I just lose 2 cards and see what I keep. Oh wait, this is I get to pick. Got 'em. So if I pitch blue for Twin Drive, I can Foundry Heart and throw another 8. Boost twice. We get our resource. Coming in for 5 with go again. Love that this deck can kind of just brawl. Imagine if I had turned into the big robot. Although, I say imagine if I would have turned into the big robot, and they definitely... They definitely are running Smashing Good Time. And Construct Nitromechanoid turns your stuff... Oh my god, just stay highlighted. Pretty sure it makes your equipment into an item. That version's just not showing it. Yeah, when you flip into Nitromechanoid, you are in a Mechanologist weapon equipment item. Two card block, still push 2. We take those. Coming in for 4. So this hand sucks horrendously. Feel like I'm arsenaling recharge. Taking 1. Yeah, because you have to boost to do it. So here's my vanilla 6. What you got? Naturally. 4. They can't pummel this. Okay, so I can pump, throw out a bunch. Depending on what they do, I can crank and bank. Man, imagine this game if I was competent at this hero. There's probably a very reasonable... it is probably very reasonable for me to not run Goliath Gauntlet into this matchup. I should run Adaptive Plating. Okay, and Fate Foreseen. I was like, if they're taking 6, they must have lethal. They might have lethal anyways, but... Crank and bank, take another card. This is our last hurrah. We need to hope we don't just die here. Ah! Oh, we almost live. We're so close. Steel Straight Hoons can block 4. Crazy. Alright. Not bad. Not bad. I need to set up the sideboard plan so I don't do stupid shit like that again. but let's run it back. Icelander. Okay. So here, AB, AB. Good stuff. More blues, so we want the Meganetics. And honestly, I don't hate bringing in some hand disruption. We'll trim a recharge. Actually, no. We'll leave the recharges. We'll cut the moonshots. We're not moonshotting anybody in this matchup. Yeah, Maxx math is kind of wild. It's pretty sweet though. I I like what he's trying to do. I like the way the build has gravitated back towards, critical mass of cards you sort of have redundant copies of, so you're not, a lot of the old boost stuff was just was vanilla low power stuff, and now I get to run, six power go agains. It's pretty great. I would suspect on paper that this should be a very favorable matchup for Maxx. I think historically Icelander has struggled into mechanologists. And especially Maxx, has resource sinks and will be, floating extra resources to pay through things. Yeah, recipe for a not super fun time for Icelander. Hello, opponent. Are you there? How much value Banksy got in that game is kind of crazy. Uh, it got equipment blocks repeatedly. Like most of Bravo's equipment blocks blocked Banksy's, which feels kind of insane, but is also cool. Interestingly, even though I sideboarded wrong into the Bravo, okay, opponent is gone. We're gonna try again. I think that Moonshot is the kind of card that uh, will look best in against Bravo. You want to chew through the equipment. Third time's the charm, my friend. All right, let's do this. Uh, I'm going to remember to change my equipment this time. It's going to be great. Good to go. Hyperdrivers for days. I think we're fine running a few extra cards. I don't think Shockwave makes much sense. They're going to be going through armor anyways. Okay. So we just want to throw out a zipper hit, make a thing, not crank, and Arsenal pass. You're here too early. Construct an atromechanoid. You'll have to come back later. Alright, how's my turn going to play out? I can recharge throttle. Yeah, we're just real light on resources this time around. We'll just cash in armor early. Just save life. The irony here is hilarious. We just take a hit. So we recharge, pitching recharge, and then throttle. Take 2 cards, push 4 damage. Okay. Haven't seen any Evos. You're 60. 5. But to present 20 coming back. Okay, so start with a recharge. Boost. We have some resources. Two drivers for next turn. Four in play. That's the most I've had in play before. I don't have any items in Banish. They don't have any items in Banish. So Heist isn't really doing anything here. Heist for 5 with Go again. Boost. Oh, I did banish a hyperdriver. Okay. Moonshot. Zoom call. When this is equipped, you may banish a card from hand. If you do, draw a card. Okay, so it gets an Evo, cycles the thing out. Ooh, combustible courier. Cannot say I was expecting that one. I should definitely block it. So let's start with high octane. This is gonna not be the most impressive first moonshot, but we're sure gonna do it. Actually, do I even want to moonshot? We've been through a decent chunk of cards at this point. I'm gotta be close to due to hit another construct mechanoid. I can just crank and bank. Put moonshot in arsenal. No, put 0 to 60 in arsenal. These both kind of suck. So if I moonshot here, if I crank, we go to 2 drivers at 1 cost with 2 resources floating. Now I can't make it so that I can like eat a respectable number of them. It is my birthday and Fab's birthday. It's a good day. They picked a good day to start their game. I'm not in love with this turn cycle. Moonshot certainly seems a bit finicky, but nothing else matters because now we're going to construct Nitromechanoid and everything's going to be great. Okay, so Hyperdriver, pitch recharge, crank faux show. Oh no, I can't do math. We are not going to be able to get her done this turn. We're going to have to make another one. Yeah. It is the 11th still for 2 more hours. So now that I've killed all those, I can't actually make my mechanoid. Yes, crank. Banksy. Ooh. World premiere of Heavy Hitters. Brutesville. Are we going to Brutesville? We are. Holy shit, that's amazing. Oh, baby. That's amazing. All right. Let the hype begin. Okay, so this is a risky move, arsenaling that card, when we don't currently have uh, enough hyperdrivers. But we can slow it down a bit. Oh, congrats! Happy birthday! War Machine 6 coming in. How many hyperdrivers do I have left? One in the yard, one in banish. So there's 4 hyperdrivers left in my deck. Oh, and 1 in play. So 3 hyperdrivers left in my deck. Man, I cannot wait to look through that announcement. Heavy hitters. It's gotta be. Oh yeah, it's the death match. Celebrational. I need to become a community hero. Get invited to dope shit in New Zealand. February 2nd, heavy hitters hitting stores. Alright, Evo's online. Oh, we got there. Except I can't afford it again. Oh, this is devastating. Deck, please. Okay, so overpower. So only 1 card here. Oh wait, this is the Arsenal Destruction one. Oh no. Rip hopes and dreams. Wait. Okay, there we go. Whoa. Uh. There we go. Boosting. Blue recharge. So I can Foundry Heart and then Zipper hit into Banksy. Oh, another hyperdriver under X3. 3 more. Will I fall to the overpowers? Man, these are coming at really bad times. I can ditch high octane. Cranking and banking. Oh, mama. Okay, so Hoons. Hoons is a 5 go again here. So let's see. Jumpstart costs 1, refunds 1, so I end up with 3 resources. I can Holy shit, do I wish I could go to New Zealand in January. Okay. All right. Okay. Once more with feeling. Alright, so I think putting our eggs in the basket of this turn is probably okay. So I can go plus a resource, minus a resource with Maxx and Foundry. So let's crank. Yes. Let's go up 2 resources, get rid of our last. Yeah, figured the mechanoid is there. Boost a rev up. Boost a zipper hit. Twas a slog. Good game, Florian. Alright. Very cool. Well, I think that's going to do it for me for tonight. It was, how long have I been going? That can't be right. There we go, yeah, 3 hours ago. Yeah, Teklavasen, he's finicky. You're the first person I've seen though running a really aggressive version with the Zoom set of equipment. I've mostly seen people running the Steel Soul cycle and playing a little more slowly, a little more defensively. Um, but it's an interesting idea. You didn't. I don't really know if you hit much of any of them on your banishes though, which is kind of a a low roll and unfortunate. But yeah, Maxx is pretty cool. Deck is capable of some cool things. Big shot is nice. Easier to get off, right? This never got stuck, and there's even turn cycles where you're fine just chucking out 6 damage and arsenaling a card and moving on. Um, yeah, yeah, not hitting any of the evos on the boosts is pretty brutal. Um, but yeah, Maxx does a pretty fundamentally powerful thing. I wasn't able to get into a position where I could pull off Moonshot well. Um, Definitely seems to be one of the more finicky cards in the deck because you really want, you want at least one alive to eat, and so if you have two in play, this is like a 0 for 6, and maybe that's just good enough. The fact that this is a 0 cost 6 card that has further upside if you have more hyperdrivers, that might just be, a good enough follow up, right? Like this is just a 3 for 8, so a 0 cost 6 power card that can potentially be bigger than that is probably worthwhile. Um, we're probably a bit blue heavy. These 0 to 60s felt really unimpactful. Where like Hoons felt really good, and at least these make for respectable plays. So I might look to replace the 0 to 60s for punchier blues, because we definitely we want to be going above a 3 defense card for card. And this is our only, I guess, Crankshaft, but Crankshaft also, A is a 3 and B has other upside. Um, but could definitely see wanting to sort of move to a bigger blue in that slot. Twin Drive, as advertised. We did Twin Drive into Big Shot one time. With a couple drivers in play, it's a 3 card, 13 damage turn. So, just consistently putting out good pressure, and then the ever-present threat of Construct Nitromechanoid is pretty powerful. Yeah, definitely something worth continuing to explore. I like this iteration a lot. Glad I finally got all the item shenanigans out of my system, and I'm not trying to spin my wheels making making that better than it really can be. If you want to be playing a bunch of items in a mech, play Dash.io. She's really good. She's really fun. She doesn't block as well, but she has a ton of card advantage. For hybrid, you're still not going to get any better than OG Dash. For full turtle and crazy endgame, Teklavasen's it. Although someone will crack that eventually. It's fundamentally very powerful what he's doing. And yeah, that's about it for tonight. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching the games. Happy birthday, Fab. Happy birthday, me. I'm going to go eat some delicious, delicious birthday ceviche that my wife made. Uh, and, hang out with her and celebrate the last couple hours of my birthday. Have some birthday donuts I got for myself today. Donuts are my favorite food. Cake, meh. Donuts are where it's at. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Vynnset and Maxx, doubleheader. Um, we'll be back. I'm probably actually not going to be streaming next week. It's just a busy week. But 2 weeks from now, we'll be back. Probably with more 4 a.m. there. Oh, man. Uh, crazy, crazy. Well, thanks for hanging out around the world. That's awesome. Um, and yeah, so we'll be back in a couple more weeks. Probably similar heroes. Maybe Dash IO if I pick it up before then. But yeah, until then, stay cool. Thanks for hanging out in the Demonstary Dojo, and I'll see you next time. Bye.